Shame on you, Washington Post.
Never subsidize a sports stadium, and definitely not like this. Jacksonville taxpayers are getting fleeced.
In your latest article about the Jacksonville Jaguars, trying to just poop on the city and the people of this town, saying that we got fleeced in this Stadium of the Future deal that they're doing. And this video, I'm going to break down the 4 false narratives that they're spreading in this article, and that if they would have just did a little quick Google research, they would have found that a lot of stuff they saying don't make any sense.
You big dummy.
So let's go.
I'm terrific, I'm finessing in that kitchen, dead fisher. Dope, y'all call it something new like or Indiana faces of Reggie Miller. I'm in that bit like a.
So, over the weekend, the Washington Post dropped the article in regards to about the Jacksonville Jaguars Stadium of the Future, and about how the NFL just pretty much fleeced the city of Jacksonville, and about how that the taxpayers should be mad, and they should be basically trying to turn the citizens and the people that support this Jaguar team against us. Writing this article, in my opinion. And I'm gonna get right to the first point that they tried to bring up, is saying that, hey, the public paid for most of this for this renovation and for this Stadium of the Future. And they state in this article that the public put up most of the money, which was in the sum of $775 million of a $1.4 billion project. Now, I know what people say, that's a lot of money for the city to put up behind privately owned business. But when you think about the landscape and you think about what Shad Khan has been doing since he's been the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, this guy has put over $500 million into the community of Jacksonville and to help this team grow. I mean, all the upgrades and renovations he's done since he's been here, man, he's really invested in the city. And I think when you look at this, Shad Khan is looking at it from a business standpoint of, hey, look here, man, I done put over $500 million of my money up. So I need the city to show that it's just as much as invested as well. And I think that, the city and Shad Khan, they came together, man, and they, we gonna put it up. And because I look at the back end on this thing, is Shad Khan is creating a lot of more jobs. He's revitalizing the East Side community. He's doing a lot of good things. And I think, the initial investment the city's putting in, it's gonna pay way more dividends than $775 million, in the future. So I think they're looking at this as a future investment. So I think when they put this article out, you have to do your facts and understand that, hey, all the facts of why they put up this much money, if you're looking at it from that term. And not only that, he did an additional $38 million in charitable work throughout the city, on top of the $500 million that he's put up in infrastructure and things like that throughout the city. So, I mean, when you just look at that alone, I think the city is looking at that and say, hey, man, we can front most of this project. So that's my take on the first thing. The second thing that these guys they was talking about was the budget is already $100 million over. Now, with that being said, you got to understand the world we're living in right now. The economy is real bad, war, gas prices up. So obviously everything is going to go up. When this deal was initially done, I think, with the cost of construction and everything, we didn't expect, tariffs and a war to be going on around this time of construction. So you got to think about all those factors that come into play right now. So, I mean, yes, we're a little bit 100 million over, but again, society, the economy, things are different from when this deal was first done. So that should have been expected. And those are things that are out of our control. So for this author and the person that wrote this freaking article to sit there and use that as one of the things that's bad, I think they've been a little disingenuous when it comes to that point. And the third thing they mentioned in this article that I had a beef with was to reduce seats. Now, the new Stadium of the Future, is going to have 63,000 seats. And the old stadium had 67,000 seats, which is like a 4,000 seat difference. But when these stadiums are built, they don't never publicly like put out the max capacity. The max capacity might have been 67,000 in the old stadium, but with the way you can maximize the stadium, effectively maximize the stadium, they can hold up to additional 4,000 people, which can bring it up to 71,000. And that's in the current stadium that we're in now. Now in the new stadium, it's going down to 63,000, but with the maximum capability to hold 71,000 fans. So when you say that, in the totality of things, the max capacity is still there at 71,000. So it's not like we're losing any seats in any way, shape, or form. Now, general population seats, yeah, a little 4, but when we trying to max that thing out, we're gonna have 71,000 screaming Jaguar fans when the stadium is all said and done. So for them to put that in, that's the third thing, as one of the things that was like bad about this deal. I just think that that's a little bit disingenuous, because if you would have looked at, you know, how this stadium is being built, 71,000 would be able to fit in this stadium, and it's still 71,000 that fit in the stadium currently now, you know, what they have. So that's now the final thing that I think that there's a little bit truth to it, but I think that, you know, it's just a price of doing business. And it's the last point they want to bring in, is that the team is going to be relocating to Orlando for a year. So none of the economics from 2027 season from the Jacksonville Jaguars, from an economic standpoint, games, things like that, concessions, all that, it'll be benefiting the city of Orlando. And I just think that's just the price of doing business. Obviously, you know, we got this deal done. We knew that it was going to be, we're going to a point where we weren't going to be able to play in the stadium. It's just where it was. And so for them to sit there and say that this is a bad because they got to go play in the stadium for a year, I just think that, hey, this is just the price of doing business. I think if we could have kept the team in Jacksonville, or say in a local area where the city could benefit and make money, we just couldn't, man. And I'm sorry. We're not like other major cities like in Atlanta or New York or LA, that we could find other venues to host these things. But it's just not there, man. And I just think that, you know, this author that wrote this, he really didn't do his homework, and he really didn't, you know, really deep dive into the culture and to how this deal actually is going to help the city of Jacksonville. Even though from outsiders looking in, it may look like we're being fleeced, but it's not. We're not being fleeced, man. And I think it's a good deal for a small market team that for years the mainstream media has been trying to push out of Jacksonville, to push the Jaguars out of Jacksonville, and now you're finding a reason to shit on this deal because it don't measure up to previous deals. I just don't like that, man. So those are my thoughts. I want to give this rant about this article that came out. Get in the comment section, let me know your thoughts, man. Do you think that, you know, this article was right, and do you think that we are getting fleeced, or do you think, you know, you feel like me that, you know, hey, we had to do what we had to do? Get in the comment section, let me know your thoughts. It's your boy Joe. I'm out. Peace.